Hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rodney Perry. It is going down today. We're gonna have a real conversation with some real folks, real businessmen, real guys, real parts of this community. We all live in the state of Georgia, and we are approaching a precipice, if you will, something that I believe has never been done, with Georgia having the opportunity to elect two Senate seats. My name is Rodney Perry. I'm a stand-up comedian, so I might say some wild today. So don't charge it to my heart. But we got some great men on the line. We're calling this Barbershop Conversations because nothing is realer than the barbershop. The barbershop is where most of us have spent our time over our lives. Is where we had some pivotal conversations, whether it's sports, politics, or whatever. The barbershop is where, a lot of us find our self-esteem. The barbershop is where, we got the real conversations. And that's why we wanted to talk to these men. And to me, when I think of barbers, I think of probably the first businessman that I had a chance to know intimately up close. So this is Barbershop Conversations, the Georgia edition, and the barbers that have come through to bless us, the barbers and the businessmen. Up first from Atlanta, Georgia, they call him Step, the barber. Step, what's up, bro?
How you doing, man? It's good to be with you, bro.
Man, I'm excited to chop it up with you, man. What would you like to achieve with this conversation, bro?
What I really want to do is give people who may have never stepped foot into a barbershop just a little peek into how we actually have conversation, especially coming from our community.
Absolutely. Up next, Augusta, Georgia,
What's up,
Patrick's Barber and Beauty Salon, Mr. Patrick Hawkins. How you doing, Mr. Hawkins?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Man, it's an honor to talk to you today. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Man, I'm excited to chop it up with you today, man. I think you might be the elder statesman among us. What do you want to achieve today?
Well, I just want to see what all the other barbers thinking about. See whatever conversation going on in my barbershop going on in theirs.
Well said. Let's take it down south a bit, down to Savannah, Georgia. The name of his shop is I Am the Cut. Mr. Dewan Tremere. What's up, Dewan?
No. Correction. The barbershop is just the cut. I Am the Cut is just my Instagram name.
My bad. No disrespect. But Mr. Dewan Tremere, how you doing, Dewan?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, you know what? I'm great. Thank you, first of all. But you're a businessman, and you run that place, man. Tell me, what would you like to see us achieve today?
First, kind of going off what Steph said, I'm definitely in agreement with that. A lot of people don't think that, barbershops or, people that are barbers, salons, however, are even, aware of what's going on politically. And we most definitely are, because, it affects us as well.
Well said. And finally, from Macon, Georgia, Wade White. What's up, Wade?
Hey, what's happening, man?
Wade, you're currently conducting a cut. You don't play. What you're not about to do is miss them chips. I appreciate that, man. Again, same question, man. What do you think that we can achieve today with this conversation?
I'm guessing we can build a bigger network of like-minded people. We all in this together. So if we just talk about build a conversation around the things that need to be changed, then hopefully we'll come up with some great ideas and build the plan of action.
Absolutely. Hey, man, this is a unique election that we're facing because it's not a midterm election. It's not necessarily a national election because we just went through the whole presidential thing. And so my question to y'all is, how do we engage again? Yeah.
I think when it comes to engaging, it starts with instead of thinking big, I think that we should think a little bit smaller. Having these conversations in the shop, in your home, amongst family and friends. I believe that that's where, because some of the most impactful conversations I've ever had in my life is not necessarily things that I've seen on television or at some big event. It's always been more intimate conversations with people that I trust for advice and to help guide me.
Wow. Dewan, let me ask you this, man. This is set up to be a historical election with this Georgia being the focal point of the whole United States looking at us. like, how does that make you feel that you know, for the first time that Georgia is really like being looked at as like, yo, it's on y'all, you know, y'all don't let us down. Like, are you feeling that energy?
Yeah, definitely. We gotta definitely get the community involved, and you know, the youth are, you know, that's coming up. They don't even know like about, you know, anyone that's running for any sort of house or anything. They don't know about any of that. And I think that just talking about it more and just, you know, being a lot more open about it and just being able to communicate more about it, it would just help us out so much more.
Very, very dope. Mr. Patrick, man, you probably been in that shop for many years. How many off the top right now?
About 23, 24.
23, 24 years. I'm sure you've encountered people that said, I ain't voting, I don't want to vote. What do you say to those people?
Well, you know, we got them it's kind of, I don't want to just say it's young folks. We got about, I know last year, I think, what we always do when it's voting time, we kind of give everybody who votes a discount, so we'll kind of keep up with who people vote.
Oh, wow.
That's what we do. If you come in with your voting pass, we take $5 off your cut. So that kind of gives us a general idea of what's going on.
Man, overall, Patrick, you just gave me a little chill. That's awesome, man. So you're using your business to even give some incentive. Has anybody else done anything like that, Mr. Wade?
No, I haven't, but I would love to. It sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. Okay, Wade, let me ask you this, man. I mean, you're a young guy. You encounter a lot of men that come and sit in your chair. What's the temperature, man? What are people feeling?
People don't have many jobs because of the COVID, and then people are not being able to be out in public as much as they used to be able to be. You know, it's hard to get out there and scratch for money if you can't get out or be amongst people. You understand?
Yeah. It's messing with the hustle.
There you go.
Wow. Hey, let's get into that. Let's unpack the whole COVID thing, man. I don't know if y'all feel like I feel, but I feel like the whole pandemic was kind of mishandled. But we're past that at this point. We're figuring it out. Y'all was one of the first workers that went back to work in the midst of that pandemic. Let's start with you, Mr. Patrick.
Well, the pandemic did for me. Not what I did. For the first 23 years, I probably wasn't doing appointments. So I kind of just faded into the appointment thing. And it done took away from the conversation that we used to have in the barbershop now, because it's more one-on-one.
Right. So the natural conversation that we had with the guy that was waiting, that kind of goes away.
It don't happen as much now.
Oh, wow.
You know,
wow.
Everybody have to come in and go. So that done changed a lot.
Now, did some of the new guidelines affect you, good or bad?
Yeah, we had to shut down for about 2 months. About two and a half months.
Yes, sir. DeJuan, man, speak to that, man. How did this whole pandemic affect you, man? You know, you was able to get back to work, but after a couple of months, that had to be crazy.
Well, for me, right before the pandemic started, I had opened up my third shop, the one that I'm in now, and the first two, they took a big hit. You know, I got one in Florida, then I got another one in Savannah. The one in Florida, I had to let that one go completely. Wow. The other one in Savannah, it's dead too. So I'm really stuck with just this one. So I took a real big hit. You know, I didn't go under, but you know, as far as like, to me, financially, what the pandemic did was, yeah, you can shut everything down, and I understand that, you know, because we're trying to get everybody well, but man, you got to shut them bills down too. That's my thing. You know, shut it all down. You're gonna shut the whole world down, shut it all down. If I ain't getting no money, don't ask for no money.
Wow. And you know, that's one of the conversations we could have with our politicians too. Like, Lo, you in Washington, D.C., if we doing this, then you got to do that. And I think that's a fair conversation. Step, same question, man. Like, as you navigated this whole pandemic, man, like, how were you able to come out on top, man? Your shop looks amazing in the background. Man, how were you able to navigate that?
Well, years of preparation. Just from my upbringing, my pops always told me for for every dollar that you make, you know, you may pay yourself a quarter, put 75 cents that belongs to the business. So I got that part early. But also just kind of being a person that could kind of foresee the future. I tried to warn as many barbers as I could, because I remember when we were shut down that everybody wanted to go back to work. And I understood that. But what I was trying to tell them is that as soon as the state opens up and we're able to go back to work, we're not going to qualify for any funds. And so your business is going to be busy for the first couple of weeks. And then the clientele is going to slow back down. You're going to end up losing barbers and you're going to start closing shops. And sure enough, that's what happened. When the doors first opened up, everybody was right back busy because people hadn't had a haircut in 3 months, 2.5 months. And then as the next weeks came, clients were coming in slower and, you know, barbers were quitting. And I've seen a lot of shops close, unfortunately.
I don't think the population at large has even thought about how that affected you guys. I'm sure they haven't. And thank you for sharing that. Mr. Wade, man, you navigated this whole pandemic, man, and you still standing, man. How are you still standing?
Coming to work every day.
Come on, Wade. Tell them, dog.
Hey, these bills got to be paid, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, this whole conversation is centered around voting, man. And I did, for the first time in my life, I did early voting this year. And that seemed to have made the difference in this past election. Talk to me about early voting, Mr. Patrick. Like, how is that something that you've ever done?
No, I ain't never did that early voting. I like to get up in the morning and go get mine in the morning like I'm supposed to. So I ain't never did that early voting.
Yeah, you know what? I totally get that, man.
Yeah, either way you do it, it works. But I always just go the day of it.
Hey, Mr. Patrick, I be thinking the okie doke gonna happen if you go early.
Me too. I be thinking that they're gonna lose something gonna happen. So I go the day of it.
What about you, Dewan, man? Did you early vote?
No, I didn't early vote. But I do know that, you know, by people looking up to you, you know, to all of us, you know, your barbers, people that you come across, you know, if they know that you are out there, you know, being proactive, then you're kind of like an influence for them to want to go vote. Like, dang, you know, he taking the initiative and trying to get out there early, man. I just need to at least do it, you know?
Hey, that early voting is a real thing. For this runoff election, early voting starts December 14th and up to January 5th, which is the election day for this runoff. Have y'all looked at those candidates? Steph, have you looked at these candidates? I mean, you got any feelings, any vibes on any of them?
I don't know enough about them, to be honest with you. I know what I need to do to help who I want to help. But no, I don't know enough about them, to be honest with you. I think that's one of the things that kind of happens sometimes, is that a lot of times we only see certain politicians when they want the vote. And then once they get the vote, you know, we don't see them anymore. And it's hard for some of us to look outside our windows and see these changes that are supposedly taking place. It seems like certain changes only take place on one side of town and not on the other side of town. So, but I have been trying to get myself abreast of who's running and what they stand for.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, you know, I think we all have to figure out what's what. And I think you said some really important step in terms of creating a way for the people that you elected to be able to do what you got in there to do. I don't think we really understood that when we elected Barack Obama. Right. And so, you know, you got a guy in the White House, but he don't have no House or no Senate, no backing. So that's like sending a man in a fight with no gloves on. You know, he got to figure it out by himself, and it's, you know, it's 100 and, you know, 200 to 1, and right. and he got to figure it out. So, Mr. Wade, we're talking about voting, and there's a lot of shadiness that happens in terms of voting. Like, I was reading this document. They were saying that we need to check our status to see if you're even eligible to vote. What do you say to your clients, man? I mean, what's the vibe in terms of, are cats looking forward to the vote, or how are they feeling up your way?
They're looking forward to the vote. A lot of the people, well, I went in early voted this morning. So,
okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, I was able to see, you know, what was going on out there, and it was more people this time than it was the last time for early voting.
Really?
And I don't know about anywhere else.
Get out of here. So I mean, is early voting like just let me get it over with, or is it like let me do my civic duty?
It's an urge for change. People want to see change, man. We almost there. Like if we get one off in, we'll have a clean run all the way through. Hopefully, you know, theoretically, as far as getting things passed.
Wow. So let me ask you this, Mr. Wade. I mean, I think you might be younger than all of us, or you look young.
Okay, I agree.
So let me ask you this: do you think young people are more likely to vote earlier, or is it maybe an older guy?
I mean, it's all in how you train a person. If you tell them that, you know, it's best to go vote early, then I'm pretty sure that eventually they will if they see the benefits of it. I mean, I saw the benefits of it by voting early because you get it out the way. I mean, I ain't got time to wait till the last minute because other things pop up. So that's my notion.
Now, DeJuan, one of the candidates is from your neck of the woods, Pastor Raphael Warnock. Have you been to his church?
No,
his church is in Atlanta. Are you looking forward to him getting to Washington, D.C. and making a change?
To be honest with you, I need to really look up and read up a little bit more about him. But I look for, you know, any sort of change, you know, to go into people's favor, you know what I mean? But I do need to look up more about him. Ultimately, you know, you're trying to find the best person to fit the situation and make it better than what it is. And right now we focus on the pandemic. You know, we focused on, you know, what's going to happen in January, and we just want the best person to come.
And you know what? I want to give y'all the floor, man. Like, if you could speak directly, and these candidates, hopefully they'll get a chance to see this, they'll get a chance to hear your voice. Like, what do you need? What do you need in your community? Whether it's you know, Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah, or Macon, what do you need that can help your business? I think DeJuan, you spoke to it a little bit. Step, what you need, man?
I think the most important thing that we need is trust and confidence. Politicians and citizens, that's a relationship, and in any relationship, it's hard for it to succeed or be a positive relationship if there's not trust and confidence. So that goes to the point of COVID, the vaccine. If we shut down, you know, are there going to be funds allocated to people so that they can survive? And that goes all the way into the future, you know, future job growth, all of those different things, man. I think that if you can keep a person afraid, you can get them to do almost anything. And so a lot of people are fearful. And I think that confidence and trust, man, those are just, because when it boils down to it, whenever you hear people have a complaint about any politician, they don't trust the things that they say, and they don't have confidence that the things that they are hearing are going to affect them directly. So if they say, you know, we need better schools, we need better streets and bridges, most people hear that that's not going to apply to them because they never see it.
Right. Wow. And man, so true, Steph, man. Well said. Mr. Patrick, man, you can talk to the candidates directly. What do you want, man?
If I could talk to them directly, well, first I'll try to find out who they are, because, you know, really, we don't know who they are. Because if we ask all ourselves today, who is Reverend Raphael? I never heard of his name until this running here.
Right.
So we really don't know him, and, you know, and that's with all the candidates. We really don't know him. We'll never meet him. They never come close enough to your area to even find out what's really going on, because your small government don't really know what's going on. So I know he don't know. And he probably won't ever find out. But if I could sit down and tell him, I would try to tell him to get out and meet the people. That's what I would ask him. Just tell him to get out and once he get there, get a feel of the people. Find out what's really going on.
Hey, your people must see you on here live. They want to holler at you.
No, I don't know. I told him not to bother me for 2 hours.
you know they ain't gonna never do that, Mr. Patrick. Hey, well said, sir. Wade, hey man, you can talk directly to the candidates. they running for a Senate seat to represent you in Georgia. What do you say to them?
In this neighborhood, we need better safety. We need more grocery stores. We need just better community leaders. You know, we need people that's gonna fight for us when they get up there, and not just do stuff that's gonna benefit other people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Dewan, man, give me some, man. You seem like you got. I bet you got a plan. You got some sheet of paper with this wrote down already.
So, no, I don't have anything wrote down, but just going to, because I mean, we all shop owners, and even goes down to the clients. The ones that we keep the longest and have us around and we get most benefits from are the ones we stop and get to know. You know, and that's as simple as that. The barbers that I work with, if I have a dope relationship with them and I'm trying to at least mentor them if they don't know certain things or help them get to another level in their career, they usually rock with me a lot longer. And the clients that, you know, I work with a little bit better, you know, I don't try to upsell them to the point where, you know, I'm just breaking their pockets, but I'm giving them their value out of every single service, you know, and they feel like it's worth the money. I keep them, you know, a lot longer, and I'm being honest with them. You know, I'm communicating with them, you know, and everything just stays afloat. They usually stay around longer, and it's like we don't see that from them. We only see that, like Steph said, right before they got to get elected, you know, and that's when we see a whole rush of it, and it's like we get so much of it, you know, right before then. We like, dang, okay, but yeah, we got a lot of information about you, but where were you at 6 months ago?
I think Mr. Patrick is right, and what you said as well, Dewan, and getting to know the people, getting out in the community and affecting that change. Let's talk about the business, man. You guys, in addition to being barbers, you're all businessmen. You've withstood the pandemic. Going into 2021. How does business even get better? Anybody?
More clients, more barbers. You know, with the COVID, it kind of stopped the barbers from coming to work because of like Steph said, the slow clientele, and then some had underlying issues themselves.
Wow.
So as barbershop owners, we had to kind of buffer that as to keep the business going. You know what I mean?
So did you find yourself working even more?
Yeah.
You personally?
Yeah, because I have a business that has bills coming in consistently. So I have to make sure that I hold my obligation to those. I can't, you know, the barbers, those obligations to them don't kind of come in the mail. Mine come in the mail. So I have to, you know, we have to pay those bills. So whenever the economy does pick up, hopefully we'll have more clients, and then we'll have more barbers that'll come back to the shop, so it'll make it easier on the barbershop owners.
How are we navigating that, man?
But if I can speak to that, I don't think there has ever been a time in American history where the black man has ever been accepted how he is. We're always told to be a little bit more quiet, talk a little softer, be a little shorter. Don't be so big. Don't be so young. Don't have your hair so long. Why you need facial hair? We're always told that we're doing it wrong. And I feel like we should, and each time we've made adjustments, back down on our masculinity, our community has fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen. And I think that if we ever want to pick this thing back up, we as black men should lead. If we're not allowed to lead, then, you know, who's going to stand, fight, and die for the community if the men are not allowed to be men, you know? And that's the definition of being a man is not being what people consider like being disrespectful or loud and all this stuff, but just to do what comes natural to us, which is lead and protect.
Well said, Steph. Dewan, what's your thoughts?
It's all about control. You know, it's all about making sure that, you know, whatever power that is, you know, over the country maintains a certain level of control. And no, they don't want us to, you know, be ourselves. They don't want us to be African-American men, black men. They don't want us to do that. Man, That's heavy. I'm still in deep thought about it.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I mean, and it's the reality of our daily lives as men that happen to be Black. Mr. Patrick, man, this is not a new conversation, is it?
No, because I'll let you know, the brother said back there about the pills. I know when I was over in Iraq, we took some pills for anthrax, about big as a nipple, and told us to take them, and then 3 weeks later, they told us to disregard them. So who's to say what kind of effect that done did on the soldiers from years? But that's why everybody's skeptical. There's no trust.
Yeah,
that's basically all it is. There's no trust.
Man, you're absolutely right. Man, there's so many issues at our disposal, and we're going to the polls again to vote. For the first time, I really feel, and this election process, and I voted for Jesse Jackson, for the record. So I've been voting for a minute. So,
Ooh.
you feel me? So how about this? For the first time, I felt like my vote meant something this year. Like I really did. Like I felt like, yo, and I don't know if it was the mail-in ballots and the fact, because usually you watch the voting coverage and it just sweeps from east to west across the country, and you be like, oh, it's over in Georgia already. It's over in the East Coast, and they move to the west. By the time you get to San Antonio, it's over. But this year, it kind of lingered because of the early voting and things. It lingered, and Georgia was still being counted. Like as you watch that count come, how did it make you feel that the world was looking at Georgia specifically to deliver a president?
Special, I guess. Yeah, I mean, either we were first or last. It don't matter to me, as long as we get in there and vote and do our part.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, Mr. Patrick? Did you think about it at all? Was you tripping?
Well, I think what we did learn with this, the way it's set up right now, usually when we vote on a Tuesday, before we all go to work that Wednesday morning, we have a winner.
Yeah.
So I believe over the last 20 years, looking back, a whole lot of people's votes didn't really get counted, if you really think about it. Because if you're overseas, your votes don't get back in the States till the next week, but we already have a winner. So what we should learn this time, I believe, is that the way they've been doing it in the past, a whole lot of people's numbers probably wasn't getting counted.
Right.
The first time.
I think you're absolutely right, Mr. Patrick. Like, I think it was a projection. So like after you reach a certain threshold, ain't no way for them votes to even matter. So why count them? And I think
it should matter because it showed up now that we had to wait on every vote.
Yes, sir.
I believe every vote got counted maybe this time. But in the past, it's probably been some votes that didn't get counted because when we go to work Wednesday morning, we already have a winner.
Dude, I've been saying that all my life. I'm like, how you count all the votes? You can't get your license in one day. How you count all the votes in the United States on one day? Don't get me started on that. Mrs. Dewan, did you as you watch this election process and you watch the votes sweep across the country, and then everybody was looking at Georgia like, what they doing over there?
It let me know about the mindset of the individuals that's voting now. We taking a different turn and believing in different things, or a certain group of individuals, they're more aware now and ready to vote and ready to make a change. That's what it showed to me.
Wow, Steph, I know you got something on this. My man,
listen, I don't think I stayed up and watched the TV like that since Fantasia won American Idol. That was one of the most.
Okay, you stupid.
Yeah, so that was an incredible thing. I think that it's actually very fitting with the times because I don't think ever in history we've ever been this interconnected with social media, with the 24-hour news cycle. When you talk about reality TV, I mean, I feel like I'm living on an episode of Love and Hip Hop or something. I mean, there's so much drama from the debates to everything, man. it was nonstop drama, and I don't see how the election could have came to a conclusion any other way than that dramatic.
Man, I think we covered a lot of stuff, but there's more to cover. We're talking about everything, all things voting, all things this Georgia runoff. You know, it's almost like overtime in an NBA game. You know, you got let's look at the candidates. You got the Democratic candidates. You got Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff versus Senator Kelly Loeffler and Senator David Perdue. Reverend Warnock passed Ebenezer Baptist Church, which is Martin Luther King's church. He's a Morehouse College alum. He's a member of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and he's born in Savannah, Georgia. Mr. John Ossoff interned for John Lewis. He was an investigative journalist, former congressional aide to Congressman Hank Johnson. So he got a background in politics, and he's born in Atlanta, Georgia. I think Warnock is going against Kelly Loeffler, and of course Ossoff is going for the seat that David Perdue holds. It's very difficult to unseat a person that's already in office. Do you think Warnock or Ossoff can do it?
I believe he can.
You think Warnock get it done? Why so, Mr. White?
Because of the early turnout, the early vote, the urgency of change, and it's an opportunity for us to build to make something like a president change. You know, something that hasn't been done before or haven't been done in a long time.
Wow, you just said a mouthful there. You said the urgency of change, like that. That's so true. I mean, I think we are seeking change more now than ever. Than even when we elected Barack Obama. Mr. Patrick, do you think change is gonna come? I mean, we've been singing this song a long time.
Long time, man. We've been saying it for a long time. But one thing I would say, if these two, if Ossoff and Warnock get in office, Joe Biden pretty much got a open lane to kind of do what he want to do, and we'll go from there and see what he gonna do. And 4 years from now, let's get back and see what did he do. If those two people get in office, let's see what the changes really was. If they don't do it, you vote their ass out. There you go. You know, you're right though.
Right.
So, hey, Dewan, same question, man. We've been talking about change. It seems like change is upon us, but I mean, there are some legitimate concerns too, with whether it's the Senate or the House of Representatives or the White House. Even the White House, you know, if you black in America, especially a black man, you like, I don't know if this is ever for me. So, in terms of that, how do we navigate this, bro?
Well, we got to educate ourselves about who we put in these offices. Change definitely needs to come, and you can tell that we definitely need it. I need to read up a little bit more about this individual, this reverend. I'm just trying to wait.
Wait a minute, Dewan, you mean to tell me just because he's black, he don't have your vote already?
I still got to read up on who I'm dealing with.
You know, a lot of people think that about black voters, that we only vote for people just because they black.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to research you first, but, you know, I do need to figure out, are you the individual for that too? You know, a lot of people went into, you know, voting for Barack Obama just because he was black. They didn't even research like what he had done prior to. I'm like, well, that's not smart. You still have to look at what he represents too.
Hey, you know, when dealing with this voting period, especially this runoff election, there's definitely some calls to action in place. The first call to action is make a voting plan. I think Mr. Wade said it best. He got out there and voted today. Let's talk. He got the joint on there. Steph, as you move forward, what's your plan in terms of vote, bro?
I'm definitely going to vote early. My dad is always on me. He lives in California, but he texted me this morning. He said, "Hey, Georgia voting starts today. Make sure you get out there." So that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, you know, smaller conversations amongst friends and family, because no one can motivate me to do something like, you know, like my family can. So I'm definitely going to go and do early voting. Just like, I believe his name is, what's his name? Mr. Patrick. That's his name?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, just like he was saying, I'm more of a day of type of person, because I want to make sure that I'm in line with everybody, and
Right.
I don't want mine to get, you know, I'm one of those people, I feel like if I do it too early, it might get lost in the shuffle. But I think that this election did show the importance of early voting. And plus, you know, Georgia, we're still in the South. It can get kind of crazy out there on election day. So it might be good to go ahead and get it in early.
Go on, get it over with. Hey, you said it. Vote early. Also, vote mail-in ballot if you can. You can drop it off at a mailbox location. And the early voting starts December 14th. I believe that's the date.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
December 14th. Well, today when this was recorded, December 14th to December 31st is all early voting, and the actual election day is January 5th for the Senate runoff election day. Michelle Obama has a website, whenweallvote.org. When we all vote, let's take that, guys. When we all vote, start the sentence off when we all vote and finish it your own way. Mr. Patrick, when we all vote, what happens?
You exercise your rights.
When we all vote, we exercise our rights. Well said. Mr. Wade, when we all vote.
When we all vote, we all win. When we all vote, we all win. We all build the country in a better way.
Wow, well said. Dwan.
Hey, when we all vote, you know, you can make that change that you want.
I love it. Make that change a step. Go on, get articulate though. Kill it, dog.
When we all vote, we all count.
Wow, well said, gentlemen. And I'm gonna get a little ignorant. Okay, when we all vote, when we all vote, we can choke the election, choke the shit. Maybe not. Okay, somebody stop this fool. One thing we have to be concerned about, and we especially dealing with as many men as you guys deal with. A lot of us don't know our status. You may have had some skirmishes with the law in your life or whatever, and you might not even know if you're eligible to vote. How about this? You probably are. You probably are, but you have to check your status. So find your voting location. If that may have changed. There's we all heard of red line and things of that nature. So make sure you check before you go where you can vote. There's a lot of places to find that, and you can definitely go to the Michelle Obama's website, whenweallvote.org, to check that out and locate your ballot drop box for any mail-in ballot. You have to do that. Think about that, and that's just good information. I'm so impressed with you guys, each and every one of you. Dewan, Wade, Mr. Patrick, Step. And to me, the barber is the pillar of our community in a lot of respects, because I know the barbershop was the place I learned about sports. You know, there was a place I learned about politics, the place I learned to, you know, have my first conversations about girls, you know. As y'all navigate that, and y'all are that sounding board for the youth, what's your pass on what in terms of voting? What do you pass on to them in terms of voting or anything, you know, in any tidbits of wisdom that you guys impart on y'all customers?
I just try to teach my younger clients to go ahead and vote, and because I'm not gonna be here forever, so somebody got to pass the torch on after I'm gone. So that's how I look at it. Like, I try to teach my kids and my younger clients the same thing. Like, practice voting now, and you'll make a habit of it. So as you get older, you know, it'll show, and then you can pass it on to your kids. So we'll make it through this one day.
Wow, Step.
Well, I would just say, just like with anything, you know, the best time to get a person interested in anything is when they're a kid. If you look at somebody like LeBron, he started playing basketball as a kid. So we have to learn how to learn ways to actually get the youth interested in the political process. And because if all we do is put a ball in their hand, things like that, then that's what their focus is going to be. So we have to just find ways to make it cool, make it fun, and also make it a part of their life.
Wow, make it cool, make it fun. I think you said a lot right there. And Mr. Wade brought a great point up. Is like develop that habit. Develop the habit. Let me ask you this, Mr. Patrick. Why be an entrepreneur, man? Why get into a business where, you know, that it was all on you? You know what I mean? Why do this?
Well, it's peaceful. Ain't no layoffs. I mean, if you do what you're supposed to do with your money, you might not get rich. You ain't got to worry about no layoffs, nobody telling you when to go home. Set your own hours. Yes, and you meet a lot of people. You know, I believe if you treat them right, they're gonna treat you right.
Dewan, same question. Like, why, man? You own 3 shops at one point, man. Did you foresee that? Did you foresee the success you was gonna have?
Not at all. I thought I was just gonna be a barber, working at a shop and just enjoying cutting hair and making my little bit of money and going home and knowing my bills was paid. But, you know, I ran up on a few opportunities and it worked out. But what I'll say is, you know, it's all about, you know, building something for later on. You know, my son, when he grows up, he gonna say, dang, you know, Pops had, you know, all these things going on. It's like, sometimes kids don't know, you know, what's really out there until someone introduces it to them. You know, and so with me being able to do that, you know, with my family, I'm the only person that ever owned a business in my family, at least in my immediate family. So now they look at me and they say, it's possible, it can happen, because look what my cousin just did, you know?
Wow.
And,
go ahead.
You know, having a flexible schedule and, you know, coming and going as you please, that's a big perk, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here goes a good question, guys. As you have conversation with your clients, what are the issues that's most important to them? Like, is it vaccines? Is it stimulus? Is it food deserts? Like, what's important to your client? Steph.
I think for my clients, because I talk a lot about health with them. In Atlanta, we're not in the food desert, but just talking about health and stuff like that. And I think that the other thing that's really surrounding everybody's thought process is the vaccine and COVID as a whole. Some folks are wondering if it's even a real thing, you know, or if we're just being played upon. So, yeah, man, it goes back to that trust and that confidence.
Yeah, you know, I think we've all had those conversations with the conspiracy dude. Like, first of all, you know, ain't no COVID. I'm like, dude, I had it. And I don't know if any of y'all have dealt with it that up close and personal, but I had it. So, you know, I can speak from that perspective of it's not a game, in my opinion, you know. But same question to you, Wade. What's most concerning to your clients, man?
My clients are more concerned about the fear of them being shut down again, not being able to work. And I mean, that's basically their most concern is the money.
Yeah. That's absolutely present. That's present to everybody. I mean, I feel you on that 110%, because I'm like, if I can't, I mean, I was at a loss. I'm a professional comedian. I've never been off work for 200 days.
Me either, in my life. And so I don't know about y'all, but I was like, man, by March, April, I was losing my mind. Yeah, it's a mental adjustment.
It's a huge mental adjustment. But how about this? We all made it. We all made that adjustment, and we're here now. Yes, sir.
For me to do that, I had to revise my business. I had to come up with different business strategies. Like one of the barbers said that they were doing walk-ins. Like that was me. I was a walk-in barbershop type situation. But due to COVID, I had to change and rethink my barbering situation to where I became an appointment only type barber.
Okay.
So
did that improve your business? Did it improve your business?
Yes, it improved my business 1,000 times because I had to I had the ability to see my clients as they came, so that it wouldn't kind of bombard me at one time, because I have a large clientele.
And you didn't waste no time.
Nah, I mean, the older barbers been told me to do these things, but I didn't. Now that I have, it's a great benefit to my business.
Mr. Patrick, what's the concerns of your people, man? They come and sit in your chair. I mean, we've heard about, you know, from the other barbers, different things. What's your people's concern?
It's basically money and shutdown. Because you know, I think somebody said back forth, if they do shut us down, don't let nothing go out. If we ain't making nothing, don't make people pay. Find something. So that's what I hope. Now I hope this next administration, when they actually say they're gonna shut us down, they do send some kind of rules out there where the people, the landlord and them can't beg you for their money. Because I know in my plaza, in our plaza, it's about 9 or 10 buildings in this plaza where I'm at. They all went up on rent come January 1st.
Yeah, mine too.
During the pandemic?
They went up 30% on everybody. You know, and like I told them, I ain't upset that they went up on our rent. I'm upset about the timing. You know, I think wait till after.
It couldn't be worse time.
Yeah, it's the worst time. But they actually went up maybe about 30% on all the buildings in this plaza.
Ooh, that's a big jump.
So what can you do, man? That sounds so disrespectful to me.
That's a little disrespectful, insensitive, but I guess that's some parts we have to deal with. That's why I say I hope this next administration, when they get in there, they'll get out and listen. You know, because I know back here at home, the mayor was telling us nobody can get evicted. But come August 1st, they started evicting people.
Wow.
So they tell us one thing, but then they do another thing. So from the top.
And then you wonder why you don't have no faith and no trust in people.
Right, there you go.
Dewan, man, what are you hearing from your clients?
Well, my clients pretty much just they want the shutdown to actually happen, but they want them bills to be cut off. That's it. Get back to normal life. That's it. I'm not really hearing, you know, too much of. You hear about health sometimes, but shoot, being broke is even sicker for most people.
Bro, say that one more time, D.
Right.
broke is something. Don't nobody want to catch that.
Your whole body, you toe up. But you know, that's pretty much what I'm hearing a lot of times. Just it's about the money. People still trying to, you know, take care of their families. Yeah, they worry about their health themselves, but you know, they looking at them kids, they looking at their wife, they gotta, you know, hold them down. But when they can't do it, that's an even worse feeling than what COVID probably gonna bring, at least to them. So
now not only are we in the midst of a pandemic, but we've also seen civil unrest throughout our country. Whether it's, you know, young men being murdered in the street. So when you start hearing about police reform or prison reform, what's your thoughts on that, Step?
As far as the protests, I was actually pretty proud of our country, and I think that it was kind of like the perfect storm, because I don't think ever before was America forced to sit still and watch what they watched. And because we were in the middle of a pandemic, and the only outlet that a lot of people had was their phone, when the murder of, and I don't say death, I say murder, when the murder of George Floyd happened, I mean, it actually showed, it held a mirror up to America, something that our people have been yelling and screaming about for so long has been ignored. And we've had it on tape before, but it was just so easy for people to move on. You know, everybody had to go to work, or everybody had things to do. And I think that in a lot of ways, not only were people protesting his murder, but they were also protesting big government. They were protesting the shutdown itself. You know, you want us to stay at home. Now we have a good enough cause to be out, and we're gonna be out, and we're going ham. So,
yeah, you're absolutely right. Patrick, as you watch the country kind of, you know, implode, what was your thoughts, man? Was it police reform? Was it prison reform? Was it what? did you have any thoughts in reference to that?
I mean, that's a long situation. That's a long question there with prison reform. I think the system is unfair, and as a whole, I think that's what one of my mans talking about. He want to do something different when he get in office. Off. Let's hold him to that when he get in there. Let's not wait 5 months down the road. That's one of his things he say he want to work on is police brutality.
Work on that day one.
Let's work on it day one and let's stick it to him. He's in Georgia, so let's just stay close to him. You know?
And I would also say that after the election, we can't disengage. Like you might vote your conscience, but after the election, like Mr. Patrick said, now that's when you hold these guys and these men and women accountable. Mr. Wade, when you think of, I know for me, I hear people talking about police reform and defunding the police and things of that nature, but I'm a firm believer that as long as the prisons need human bodies, that police reform is never going to happen. What's your thoughts on that?
Especially in a penal state.
What that mean? Educate me.
What that mean is Georgia has they live off locking people up. I mean, they have a large population of people that live off of that. So I believe they're always going to make way for them people to be able to eat. So with that, they're going to keep locking people up. But I think we have to make the people, meaning ourselves, more educated about laws and how to protect ourselves so that we don't open the door for them to box us up.
Wow. Dewan, prison reform, police reform. Where are you at on that, man? What are you thinking?
Me, I try to just think about myself. You know, I know we talking about the people, but for me, I try to make sure that I not necessarily stay out of harm's way, but just make sure that I, stay educated and stay, abreast of what's really going on and stay protecting myself and my loved ones and educating those that I can. And if I can guide you into a direction where prison is not even an option, then I'll do that. But, who they letting in the office now, like, you just gonna have to show and prove and see that we can change that. It's not fair.
This has been a great conversation. You guys, man, this is Barbershop Conversations, the Georgia edition, coming to you from Squad Up Homecoming. Shouts out to the Pink Bison that put this thing together. Let's do this. Let's go around the horn. We're going to go Dewan, Mr. Patrick, Wade, and then Steph. Let's intro yourselves. We go back around. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Barbershop Conversations. D, you up?
Yo, this is Dewan the Barber. I own the Cut Barbershop located in Savannah, Georgia. Hey, it's been an awesome time. Hey, great conversations, dope people. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Mr. Patrick, you up?
Yes, my name is Patrick Hawkins. Everybody call me Hawk. I'm in Augusta, Georgia on Peach Orchard Road. We always just sitting around here doing fresh cuts, enjoying the customers and running our mile.
I love it. All right. Mr. Wade White, you up?
Hey, my name's Wade White. I have a barbershop here in Macon, Georgia, Razor Line Barbershop. We're here 7 days a week, man. Look us up. Come check us out. I love the conversation. I love the vibe. I love the way it's going. And hopefully we can find a plan of action and get people out to vote and get the people that we want in the office to represent us.
Wow, well said. And Steph Swearingen.
I'm Steph the Barber. Steph the Barber, owner of Plush Midtown in Atlanta, Georgia. Also owner of Kinks and Coils hair care products. So that's it.
I think Mr. White said it best. What's the plan of action? Vote early. Vote your mail-in ballot. Drop it off at the right location. And the early voting goes December 14th through December 31st. The voting day, January 5th. If you do vote on voting day, it's January 5th. That's when the Senate runoff happens on election day. Go to Michelle Obama's whenweallvote.org. Check your voting status. Find your voting location for early voting, or you can do that on January 5th. Locate your ballot drop box or address for mail-in ballots. You guys have been awesome. My name is Rodney Perry. I'm a comedian, but don't get it twisted. I care.